we are.
Oh, hi. Hey, everyone, and welcome to Hooping Live. This week, we are very happy to say that, can you guys hear me? Okay, cool. I don't know. It sounded very quiet for a second. Maybe it's because it's just quiet in my house. I don't know. But anyway, we are having Bonnie Brown on the show tonight. If you guys have seen her on the show before, then you know who she is. But if you don't, she is the awesome hoop mama of Sarasota, and also is a person that creates the hoops that I use. And a lot of you guys have ordered hoops from her. We plug her a lot. We can, if you want to order some of her hoops, you can go to hoopinglive.com or outwardspiral.com, and we have an awesome discount code. I think it's just hoopingLIVE, and you can get a little bit of money off your hoops. So I'm going to go ahead and let my panel of hoopers introduce themselves, and we'll start talking to Bonnie. So Jenna, would you like to go ahead and say hello?
Okay, there we go. Sorry, guys. I had to unmute myself. Hey, guys. I'm Jenna. If you didn't know, I'm a local Lawrence, Kansas hooper. I've been hooping for about 3.5 years. I don't know. I always forget how long I've been hooping. It's just been one big fun blur. But yeah, I guess, are we doing demos or?
Yeah. Do you want to do a demo?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do it. Let's do it. If you guys see Jenna do anything that you think is awesome, then you can ask in the comments down below how she did it. And of course, anyone else who does anything, you're always able to ask questions. You can also just leave a regular comment down below if you want to just say something and get it out to the Hooping Live universe. So Jenna is going to go ahead and do her demo and get excited. I'm excited. Your lighting looks different today. I like it.
Oh, thank you.
Ooh, and that's your new hoop.
Oh, yeah, I gotta show you that when I'm done.
Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Nice.
Woo. Yeah, I got a new hoop. I actually got this retaped. Yeah.
Yeah, what is it?
It's my old shine hoop that I had, and it's Hoop Mamas did it for me. It's a clear poly pro with purple mirror and then moonrise over it with like dark green grip.
Oh, that's sweet. It's so you. It's so you. I love it. Awesome.
Thank you.
And Will, would you like to go ahead and say hello?
Absolutely. My name is Will Weimer. I have been hooping for just under 2 years. And I'd like to say proudly that this is going to be my last show in New Jersey, because next Monday is move-in down in Florida, so I'll be doing the show from there. So I'm super excited about meeting a bunch of you guys down in the Florida community, as well as getting down there with Audrey and doing the show from Audrey's house. If we can fit us both on there.
Awesome. That's great. Do you have room to do a demo today?
I do, because I'm home alone, so I can do stuff in the living room.
Oh, Home Alone. Do it.
All right.
Do it.
I do have to move my
All right, I'll talk about something, and you kind of give a heads up or something when you're ready. So for those of you who don't know, by the way, because I forgot to say this is Hooping Live, and our show's every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We talk about hooping, we talk about life, and sometimes things that are totally off topic, but that's okay, because hoopers are great. So I'm going to go ahead and send it back to Will. Will, would you like to go ahead and do your demo?
Absolutely.
The first time we really got to see Will hoop on the show. Thoroughly.
I don't know if you guys can see my legs or stuff.
Oh, you little ninja. I just want to ninja your face. That's not good. I take that instantly. You're so groovy.
I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah?
This is like a hoop that I've never used before, so it feels strange, but I'm feeling groovy with it.
Sweetness. Not beans. Not sweet beans. Alright, and before I introduce our guest of honor, my name is Audrey, also known as Audrey in the hooping community. We have been doing the show for a little bit now, so if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. And if you are a old comer, hi. And we are super stoked today. Like I said, Bonnie Brown's on the show. We have some really cool stuff that we want to talk to you about. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can email us at info@hoopinglive.com. And if you guys have any questions to do with hoops, you can email hoop at hoopinglive.com, singular hoop, a hoop at hoopinglive.com, and those are anything to do with hoop questions. We'll talk about that in a second. Bonnie is kind of the brains behind all of that, but I have been hooping for, I think, 5 years-ish? No, longer than that. I don't know. Honestly, I'm like Jen. I kind of lost track. I know that I was like 17. How old am I? I'm 23? 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yeah, like 6 years-ish. Anyway, I didn't really start getting totally into hooping until I got down to Sarasota. Well, I was into it, but I didn't really understand the way of the hoop until I got down to Sarasota, where I met Bonnie Brown. I'll give you guys a quick... I'll just sit back down real quick. I'll give you guys a quick little backstory of Bonnie and I, in case you guys didn't know. Bonnie has a hoop jam every Tuesday, an hour before sunset at Siesta Key in Sarasota, Florida. So, of course, if you're ever in the town, you can come down and play with us. And we met through that hoop jam, and I wanted to meet some local hoopers, met her. I saw her on like Hoop City long time ago, because I knew that I wanted to move to Sarasota to go to Ringling College of Art and Design, and so I had messaged her, didn't really hear back, and then the day that I got into Sarasota, driving from Kansas, her hoop jam was happening, so that was like the first thing I did when I got here. She was sick, so she wasn't there, but we ended up meeting each other, and we kind of hit it off instantly, and it's been a magical journey ever since. And I really slurred my words on that one. Magical journey ever since. And so anyway, she makes my hoops, like I said, and she kind of takes care of all the things around the Sarasota area. So if you guys are ever in the area, you guys can talk to her or check out the Hooping Live page, because most of the time we like to try to repost what's going on in the area. I said area so many times in that like past 30 seconds. I'm a little disappointed in myself. So I'm going to go ahead and do a quick demo, and we'll get to it. Oh, guys, this is my new hoop, by the way, from Bonnie. It's super sweet, and it has this on the inside, which you guys can get, because we'll talk about it a little bit more in a little bit, but that was not making any sense either. But it says Hooping Live, so you can get like special Hooping Live hoops now, which is awesome sauce. I'm gonna find new words instead of saying cool beans. They'll probably be food related, but it's still gonna be great. Try not to damage the Christmas tree. And yes, I still have my Christmas tree up because I like it.
It's alright, I still have mine up.
It's just kind of sad. It's like the most depressing thing in the world to take the tree down. You're like, no, You can't go. I think it's dying though, so move. You. All right. All right. I'm gonna make that one short today.
Very nice.
Oh, thanks. So, without further ado, Bonnie Brown, everyone.
Hi, so, yep, I'm Bonnie Brown. Let's see, I've been hooping for almost 8 years now. Started in Denver. So, I might not know all the latest of all the hooping trends and stuff, but I'm more of the old school, so I I know more about the stuff of where it started and all the beginnings, and one of the few still hooping that started off hooping before everybody was posting on YouTube. So definitely don't have all the advantages to a lot of the new hoopers that can pick up on all these super new moves in the beginning, but I'm actually really grateful for that because I feel like I got to kind of explore my own thing without really being able to compare myself to too many other people, at least in the beginning. But yeah, so I'm kind of the resident hoop maker of hoopingLIVE. I make and sell hoops and do that for part of my living, and then the other part is that I teach hoop dance classes full time. So that's what I do. And then, like Audrey said, if you have any questions about hoops, I know there's a ton of questions about hoop dancing and moves and stuff, which I can help with those too. But just to help filter some of the information, if you have questions about what size hoop do I want, what are the different weights, what's the difference between polypro and HDPE and beginner hoop and all that kind of stuff, then you can email me for those, and it's hoop at hoopinglive.com. Yeah, and then I'm also at alex.o.net.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Bonnie. Yes, that email can be a little confusing, but I will definitely make sure I have all that stuff posted so you guys can have a nice understanding of it. So, like she said, she does a lot of the events around Sarasota, and if you guys are in the area, Bonnie, did you want to talk a little bit about Brecken coming into town and her tour?
Yeah, so in addition to teaching a bunch of classes in the area, I teach about 6 classes a week and host a free hoop jam. I also host a lot of guest teachers in the area. So last month we had Baxter here, and this month we're going to have Brecken. So Brecken is actually coming this weekend here to Sarasota. So if you're in the Florida, Tampa Bay area, I would definitely recommend doing that. I've taken one of these workshops before. It was a couple of years ago, so I know she's definitely gotten way better at this particular subject matter. So she's going to be doing a lot of the floor hooping. If you've seen the video that she posted about floor, she's going to be doing that, and she's also traveling with Dustin, who's going to be teaching like off-body, more technical isolations and stuff like that. So if you're in the Tampa, Florida area, I would highly recommend going to that this weekend. She's pretty awesome. She's going on tour as well, so she's going to be traveling to lots of other areas. I know she's going to some other areas in Florida and probably other places on the East Coast, so you should check out. I think her website is breckenhoops.com. I'll check on that and verify that later. But anyway, I went to her workshop a couple of years ago, and the thing that I found that was really interesting about this is that she was showing how to get onto the floor and back up really gracefully, which, I mean, for me, that was my takeaway. There was a lot of stuff that happened during that workshop, but that was my biggest thing, because it's like she does a lot of stuff on the floor, which I really hadn't explored a whole lot. But even with that, it's like, okay, but how do you transition from standing to being on the floor without, like, you know, making it kind of like a weird blocky transition? So to be able to smoothly roll, and she does a lot of like spirals and waves and stuff, so learning how to kind of spiral down onto the floor and spiral back up sounds like a lot of fun. And then she's, of course, is going to incorporate the hoop and being able to use the hoop with that too. So I don't pretend to understand a lot of it, but she's just like an incredible hooper. So I'm really excited to be able to just follow and do, you know, whatever that I can take away from that. So it's a whole weekend workshop. And you can buy, but you can purchase on there. There's a Facebook event, and it's Brecken and Dustin do Sarasota, and there's a link on there, and I'm probably on her website as well, which again I think is breckenhoops.com. But I'll check on that. And then that has a link to that, so you could buy tickets for the whole weekend, or you could buy tickets for single day or half days in any combination. So.
That's awesome. Yeah, and for those of you that are going to be in the area, you definitely should consider coming to the workshop, because I know Brecken, like Bonnie said, the workshop's really cool, and you do kind of learn a new like level of hooping. And I know a lot of people want to learn a lot of the cool tricks, which I don't blame them. Like it's super cool to always learn neat stuff, but this is kind of like almost an obscure way of learning hoop dance, and it was pretty hard. I had a tough time trying to understand a lot of it, but definitely recommend bringing a notebook to any workshop you go to. Bonnie got me in the habit of doing that, so if you want to get yourself like a little notebook, maybe even like invest in like a pretty one so you can have your little hoop dance notebook, you can. We've talked a lot about having hoop journals on the show before, but they really are a great idea, and I'm super stoked that I started writing in one, because you can do sketches and figure all that stuff that goes on in your head. I don't know if you guys do this, but like if I'm driving down the road and I'm listening to a song, I'll like envision the dance to that song in my head. Or I think Bonnie said the same thing once, that you like isolate your steering wheel. I've told, yeah, it's not a smart idea though. Sometimes you can over-isolate. Don't kill yourselves. But anyway, yeah, so hopefully if you guys are in the Florida area and can come to the workshop, that'd be super cool. I'm stoked about Will coming though. It's going to be awesome. We're going to do a lot of cool stuff, and we're going to have him here in the hoopingLIVE home.
I am so excited.
When do you get here?
I get down there the 17th. I am leaving New Jersey in the morning, and I am driving the entire day straight down to Florida. And,
how long is the drive?
15 hours. So, I mean, I have somebody driving down with me. She's actually flying up tonight, and I took her up from the airport at 1:30 in the morning. But she's going to be driving down with me. We'll probably be taking turns, but totally driving down one day, getting it done and out of the way. So I'm in there. Move-in day is on Monday, so the 19th at 7 o'clock in the morning. It's moving. So
Oh.
so excited. I find out what I'm going to be, like what character I'm going to be. I find out like where I'm going to be staying and what my work schedule is, and then all that stuff, and then hoopingLIVE at night.
That's so sweet. I'm so stoked for you to get here. It's gonna be nice to have a friend in the area.
We are going to get in so much shenanigans.
So many shenanigans. Yeah. Cool, awesome. Well, we are excited for that, and we also are gonna get to some comments here because you guys are commenting on comments. Look, you know what, Jenna? I'm gonna go turn off my beeping laundry machine. Would you like to read the first comment from Lauren Tracy?
Sure, I can do that. Let me scroll up real quick. All right, so Lauren Tracy says, hello. Hello. I have been a competitive dancer my whole life and started dancing professionally a couple of years ago. However, I've recently left the professional dance world for a bit because I felt that my creativity and expression was being held back, which is how I got into hooping. You always talk about finding your inner dancer, but I feel like my extensive dance training holds me back from finding my inner dancer with my hoop. Do you have any advice about hoopers who have intense dance training and how to let go in order to access my maximum creativity and my flow, or how training can be used to my advantages? Thanks, love the show. Audrey, you want to take over with that one? Or
Do you have any tips you want to give her?
I have zero dance training, so no, I'm really sorry. I took maybe like a year of dance when I was 3, so I don't really remember a whole lot.
Yeah, that's all right. Actually, on that note, I didn't have the same issue with intensive training, but just not understanding dance that much. And actually, Bonnie was the one that kind of helped me break that kind of shell of, for me, it was kind of insecurity, or a kind of like a set idea of what dancing should be. Bonnie, do you want to maybe take this one over?
Yeah, so I don't really have any dance training background at all either, but I definitely have, since I've really gotten into hoop dance, and especially since I started teaching it, I really wanted to be able to take my students to another level, because it's like you kind of get all of the basic moves. You even learn a bunch of really fancy tricks, and how do you start, even when you begin to thread them together with transitions, it's like, okay, where do you go from there? So we started exploring some of the stuff that people use in dance, where they start to check out using different levels, and some of the terminology that's involved in that, creating different shapes with the body. And then a lot of times in hoop dance, you think about creating shapes with the hoop, or mostly we focus on manipulating the hoop and creating shapes with the hoop, especially like LEDs and fire hoops, because you actually get to see those shapes when you use the right kind of photography. But even outside of just using the hoop or your body, you can also begin to create shapes and patterns with your movement across the floor. So I think that's another area that hoop dancers don't tend to explore as well, because we're kind of used to having confined spaces. But having a nice open dance floor and being able to create patterns on the floor and taking up more space. So again, not making shapes just within your movement itself, but taking the movement and creating shapes and patterns with that as well. So those are just a couple of things that I've picked up on. So, I mean, to answer her question, I mean, if she's already got all of that background, I mean, really just probably for her challenge would be just kind of like letting go and just playing with the hoop and just seeing what comes up. But I think it's definitely like helpful for hoop dancers that already kind of have that really like creative open movement, and then trying to challenge it by adding another dimension of structure to it. So I just grabbed a couple of dance books. You can check out all that information online.
That's awesome. Okay, but yeah, like Bonnie said, yeah, just kind of learning to let go, and that's kind of what I did. I remember specifically I was at Hawkfest in Florida somewhere, and I forgot where it was. It's kind of near Naples, I think. Naples, Florida. Anyway, it's a kind of a pagan-ish festival, really kind of a tight-knit group, really awesome. Not like your typical festival, like Electric Forest or something, but for me, it was very kind of more of like kind of a spiritual festival, and I was still in the process of understanding to kind of let go and be confident in my own body. And I don't think I really got that until I went to Baxter's workshop. So I definitely suggest, if you can, go to Baxter's workshop or blindfold yourself and try different types of music and see how your body moves. Could work on that. But that's kind of hard with the professional training. Will, do you have any advice on that? Because I mean, you do the karates, so.
I really am not sure, because whenever I do hooping or anything, I can't get foot positioning and stances out of my mind. It is something that is constantly going in my mind. I think it's like the English teacher red pen kind of thing. Once you know, like, oh well, that's the way it's supposed to be, then it's kind of always going to be there. A lot of it, there are moments where I just completely forget it, where I'm just completely enveloped in the moment, and that is more than likely at a festival or something. Like, everybody else around me, the energy in the air is just free flowing, and that kind of, I pick up on that. I guess I could best say just surround yourself with a lot of people who are doing this spontaneously, who are just experiencing the moment of flow or the moment of hooping, and feed off of that. I mean, it's a heck of a lot more fun, and you also just get to spontaneously do the hooping with them. So, at least for me, that's how I do it.
That's awesome. Thanks, Will. So hopefully that helps your question a little bit. I'm sure also there's a lot of forums that you can go to with other people that have had the same kind of training as you and can maybe help you out with that. That's what's so great about the online community with Hoop Now, is that you can really communicate, with other hoopers. But like Bonnie said, and I kind of wanted to hit a note on what she mentioned earlier about how she started when there wasn't a lot of YouTube or kind of these set things with hooping that a lot of us have grown up to be around. And I used to be obsessed with being on YouTube and doing the latest tricks, going really fast. I mean, I had like a 28-inch hoop and was just like super whippy, and it was cool and people dug it, but I still wasn't really hoop dancing yet. And you don't have to just be like a hoop dancer or a trickster or whatever. You can be everything at once that is like awesome. So never limit yourself in hoop dance. There's so much to it. But I really don't feel like I really grasped hooping until I kind of stopped watching a lot of YouTube and let myself kind of just discover within. Sounds like super cheesy, but it's true. Kind of discover within instead of what's out there. And then once I started really focusing on that, I was able to really super benefit from what I learned from YouTube videos that I watch now or from workshops. It was like I became like a sponge and was just absorbing everything on top of everything that I already had in my core. I know Jenna also has kind of experienced this before. Jenna, would you like to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. I'm pretty much the same with Audrey. I really kind of got in a place where I was on YouTube all the time, not necessarily posting because I think about the time that Audrey's videos were getting really popular. It was probably about the time that I started hooping because I saw a video of Audrey. She's one of my hoop mamas, so love you. But anyways, oh, I caught it. I caught the kiss. Anyways, I was watching a bunch of videos and I definitely felt like I was stuck. I was just like, why can't I be like Audrey, for example, or why can't I be as good as Tiana or Brecken, and you just, all the big hoopers that kind of all got big and have inspired a lot of people to hoop. But once I stopped watching videos and then once I went to Hoop Path, just like Audrey, my hooping pretty much changed completely. I realized that it's not all about the tricks. It's not all about being internet famous and being this huge hooper on YouTube or whatever you want to call it. It's just about moving the way that you feel is right and is comfortable and the way that you feel it looks good to you. But yeah, Hoop Path changed my life.
That's awesome. Thanks, Jenna. Will, have you ever had any experience with anything like that, or what else? Nay, yay.
Not too much. I am still fairly hooping, so I definitely watch my friend and close friend. She's insane, just like in the zone, in the moment. Like whenever she hoops, I can watch her and I'm just like, oh my gosh! It's not like anything super complex. It's not something super fancy. It's just beautiful, and I love like just pure movement in hooping. It looks so good. It is classy. It is beautiful, and that's something. Whenever I watch her do that, I'm just like, yeah, you are good at this. You are very impressive. So that's my experience with it.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how that worked. Bonnie, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I mean, I guess again, I really I feel like I started off in a place of flow and then worked up to more structure, probably because I didn't have YouTube to look at, and also maybe because I kind of grew up in the hoop path environment. I mean, that was like where I started hooping was in that kind of place where there was just a bunch of people that kind of had adopted some of those same philosophies of just exploring it with your body and dancing. I mean, we would just go out to Weaver Street Market with live music and would just dance with our hoops. So it wasn't a matter of like, I want to be like this person or I want to get that move or whatever. I mean, I guess there was a little bit of that. I mean, I was definitely in awe of like some of the amazing hoopers that were there, Julia Hartzell and Beth Lavender and Baxter and Spiral, all those people. I mean, I definitely appreciated their style and would try to pick up on some of the stuff that they did, but I feel like I didn't really dance until I picked up a hoop, and it kind of like unlocked that for me, that there was something inside me that wanted to dance already, but I just wasn't quite giving myself permission to do that until I got inside the hoop. So the hoop for me kind of like gave me this space that I felt I could just express myself in. It was like a safe place for me to be able to do that and open up and just let whatever movements that the music inspired my body to do, that it just allowed that to just kind of come through. So but yeah, I mean, I think I kind of started off there, and then from there it was just like a lot of refinement and then adding structure to it. So
Yeah.
I know what's a lot of people before, kind of like what you guys have said, at the hoop path is definitely going blindfolded, though, for sure. That helps to kind of take some of that element out. And don't hoop in front of mirrors. And while recording yourself helps a lot, if you're trying to do some refinement and stuff, I think in the beginning it's really nice just to afford yourself the grace to just be able to look stupid and do whatever funny moves that your body feels like it needs to do without judgment of a camera there, because I feel like even just having the camera there kind of changes the way that you express yourself. So I would encourage just doing some of that stuff with each other on your own.
I absolutely agree. I had that same kind of situation with her. Bonnie and I started where she started. I started on the opposite end. I started recording from like day one and looked in mirrors, and I do like looking in mirrors and looking at myself now, but when I first did go blindfolded is when things really started hitting home. So I do have to agree with Bonnie on that one. Even though recording yourself and looking in a mirror can help with that kind of refining what you're doing, it's just if you're kind of stuck or on a plateau, then definitely like letting yourself just kind of move is going to make yourself, I don't know, at least it made me feel like I was a lot more confident. I actually didn't start getting views on YouTube until I started doing stuff like that, and then things started kind of moving forward, and now we're here. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next comment from Meow. Says, OMG, I always forget about this, but now I'm here. Do you remember me? Have so many questions. I haven't hooped in a while, but I get frustrated learning tricks. Is it normal to have no motivation to hoop? No motivation to hoop. I mean, I can chest hoop and do a few tricks, but I feel like an amateur looking at other experienced hoopers, which makes sense because I have no motivation to practice. I would be amazing now if I had the motivation. I was thinking maybe it's possible I don't feel some sort of flow I need to feel while hooping. Maybe I should try a flow wand. I'm a good dancer and feel so restricted while hooping. Have you ever tried flow or flow wands or staffs? If you've tried them, how do you personally feel about them? Do you try to transfer the flow you feel from hooping, or do you think it's like a different type of flow? Well, I'm sorry that you lost motivation. That could always be hard to, motivate yourself sometimes. You just kind of maybe have to feel what works for you. Will, I know you use a lot of other toys. Do you want to maybe give a little advice on that?
I have used a flow wand before, for sure, and I think the flow is very, very different. Just personally, that's just how I see it. Obviously you can't do really on-body stuff with a flow wand, but still, I lost motivation for hooping not too long ago, and what I can recommend is trying a different type of music. Like the music that I listen to and really enjoy just wasn't working for me when I was hooping that much. Like I would listen to it and it became repetitive, or just I was too used to it or something, I don't know. And then like I switched to all of a sudden out of nowhere, like, oh, classical music worked really well with hooping. And I am not a big classical music fan, but it worked so well. And when I would hoop, I'd be like, this is it. This is good. This is good. So I would recommend trying different music, trying different songs, and of course, try other flow arts. It's a whole big community and it's a lot of love. So try other flow arts as well as different songs. But that's my suggestion.
Awesome, thank you, Will. I totally agree with you on that one. Jenna, do you have any advice on that?
Sure. I mainly kind of wanted to talk about the part where she said it's like we've used other props and if it kind of incorporates with hooping. Just, I don't know, that kind of caught my attention when you were reading the comment. I play with flow wand here and there, not nearly as much as I hoop, but I did just get a fire wand for Christmas, so I'm going to start practicing more so I can get better at the fire part of it so I can make awesome videos, and that's always fun, right? Anyways, I definitely think flow wand flow and hoop flow, while they are similar in I guess how they feel, they're like drastically different for me. Like hoop flow is kind of like a home. It's very comfortable. It's like I know what I'm doing when I get in my flow, and I know what tricks I want to pull out and everything like that. I'm looking at my hoop as I talk about flow, if that says anything. But when it comes to like flow on flow, I'm still kind of new in it. So when I get into my flow, it's almost, I don't know, it's, I want to say like alien feeling, but it's not like that. Like, I don't know, I can't think of a good word for it right now, but it's definitely completely different, but I kind of like that difference because, I mean, like you said, you're losing motivation. When I lose motivation with my hoop, I mean, I will pull out my flow on sometimes, or I'll pull out doubles, or I'll get my giant beginner hoop, the pink and green one, and practice reverse current hooping or something like that. Like, just try to change it up when you lose motivation like that.
That's awesome. Yeah, there's so many different ways of going about figuring that kind of stuckness. Bonnie, did you want to do a little input on that one?
I think that Will's comment about using different music is definitely a really good suggestion. Sometimes, yeah, it might just be that you're just kind of listening to the same old, like, stale music that you've been listening to. Or maybe it's music that you really love that just doesn't happen to work for that. And, you know, maybe I guess it is possible that hooping isn't the flow art for you. So you can experiment with other flow arts and see what kind of, you know, clicks with you and motivates you. You know, if you're not feeling inspired to do it, I mean, it could be that you're losing inspiration other places. It might be that, you know, I mean, because there's lots of other flow arts out there, and we're definitely, I mean, the people that are on the show are here because we are totally into hooping, and that's like our thing, you know, but it doesn't have to be everybody's thing, and so there might be other things out there that inspire you. But if you feel like it is the thing for you, and for whatever reason, you're just kind of at a standstill or a plateau with it, the other suggestion I would make is hooping with other people, getting together with a group of people to hoop. I think sometimes you can really like feed off of the energy of other people that are really into it. So, I mean, I think hoop jams are awesome for that, or going to a big like workshop gathering where you have a lot of other people who are really into it and just, you know, again, feeding off of their energy and kind of being inspired by their nerves. So, that's really my suggestion.
Thank you, Bonnie. I appreciate that. That was good. I think that everyone really hit the nail on the head with that one. The only thing I also want to kind of add into that is, and we've talked about this a lot, so without getting too deep into the conversation, in terms of flow, pardon me, nowadays a lot of people, I think, are a little thrown off about what the definition of flow is. I mean, of course, flow is different to everybody, but I mean, like, what it truly is in general, which is, you know, honestly, I don't even know, but, you know, it's when for me, it's when it finally just clicks, and it's just there. But the thing is, and we've talked about this a million times, you just know what happens. You can't really train yourself for it. You can't really, I mean, you could be a brand new hooper and be hooping around your waist with your eyes shut, and all of a sudden you just feel like kind of this, like, I don't know, it's like a tingly feeling for me, where all of a sudden it's like you feel like your whole body is just like out in outer space or something. But don't stress yourself out, guys, with the whole like, oh, so-and-so on YouTube's better than me, or, you know, how did they get, because when I first started watching hoopers, I did the same thing. I would look at the screen and just be like, it's never going to happen. I'm like, I'm never going to be that good. And even though I still look at certain people, I'm like, man, like, you know, they're incredible. Instead of saying, oh, I can't be that good, I say that, oh, I'm good, I don't hoop like them. And I hoop like Audrey, and I'm good at Audrey hooping, or, you know, Bonnie's good at Bonnie hooping. And if you just really start appreciating your own dancer, and not be like, oh, I want to hoop just like Brecken, or just like Will, or Jenna, or Bonnie, or whatever, and accept that you want to hoop like you, then, you know, maybe you can take some steps forward and figure out what your personal style is, because when you really get in tune with that inner dancer and your personal style, then you're not going to be, you know, doing someone else's dance and be like, well, why can't I dance as good as that person's dance? because it's not your dance. You gotta like find your own dance. You gotta get your own jig. You gotta jiggity jiggity. Okay, that was lame. Alright, so let's move on to the next comment. Let's see, maybe it's possible. Okay. Jessica Ellen says, Will, I told Julie to give you a big hug from me and to poke your dimples, so be ready for that.
My dimples are great.
What?
They are so big.
Where are your dimples?
Whenever I see them,
Oh, I didn't know if they're like on your butt or something.
well, that'd be wrong.
I said butt. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I'm being immature now. Next comment. Japan the woman says, I'm 5'5", 145 pounds. I'm still a beginner. What do you think would be a good size and weight of hoop to balance between weight loss and flow? Obviously, a heavier hoop can burn more calories, but the lighter hoops flow better, right? Or would the solution be have 2 different hoops for each separate goal? I'm going to give this one over to Bonnie.
Yeah, so well, I guess it depends on what you mean by the heavier hoops. Like if you're talking about the beginner hoops, which is made with the black tubing, the polyethylene tubing, the heavier ones with those, a lot of people like to start off with them because once you get them going, they help to, the momentum keeps them going around. So those are nice. I don't think that they're actually better for weight loss, though, because, again, you don't have to put quite as much energy into them once you get them going. If you're just doing core hooping, they kind of help to propel themselves. So I think the lighter ones are nicer for that, too, because you're going to have to put a little bit more energy into them from your body to keep them going. So those are good for that. And I mean, hoopers definitely develop like a collection of hoops after a while. Like you start off like with a really big one, you learn some of the basic core moves, then you see some people doing some really fast off-body stuff and you want like a lighter, smaller one to do that stuff. But then you realize you're not able to core hoop with that one, so you end up getting one like in between those two. And then you know, then you start to get into shoulder hooping and you realize you need to go back to your biggest hoop because you need to work on that and refine those skills. So, I mean, it's not uncommon to have a nice collection of them to go back and forth between. Most people do that. That's kind of a natural thing. But, you know, your ideal is to have a hoop, though, like one personal hoop to settle on one eventually. It's kind of a nice, happy medium. So it's like it's big enough so that you can do core stuff and you can have space to dance inside of it, but you also, that's small enough so that you can do off-body stuff and it's not hitting the floor when you're doing that. So, usually about like a 38 is a good size for something like that. It's like a happy medium. I would say beginner hoops range between like 43 to 39 inches, and then something a little bit smaller than that. Usually we've been hooping for a little bit longer, and between like 34 to 38. Anything smaller than that's is pretty fast, and you want to have some skills under your belt for that, or if you're just planning on only doing off-body stuff. So, and definitely this is like my opinions on this, and these differ for different people, and again, it's just because everybody's different, and I usually tell people when they're trying to find out what size hoop that they're looking for, you really need to try out some sizes, especially if you haven't hooped before. It's like trying to shop for clothes online and you've never tried on clothes before and you don't know like what size you wear. So you kind of have to try a few out. If you've got some friends, that's definitely a good one. But if it's a question between light and heavy, I would go with a lighter, larger one. I think that's a nice happy medium. But by light, I'm not really saying a Poly Pro, which is like one of the super, super light ones. Maybe just one of the lighter beginner ones.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that's about as good as that answer is gonna get. She's really good at answering stuff about hoops. So like she said, if you have any questions about that stuff, hoops at hoopinglive.com is a great way to communicate and get your questions answered. So I think that's okay. Yeah, that's good on the questions. So anyway, we have some other news. We have we're gonna start wrapping up the show here, but we are going to really be, going down on making. Will, why are you making that face? What happened? What'd I do?
Nothing. I just
What?
like making faces at people. They're trying to be serious.
Oh my god.
He's been making faces the whole time.
Yeah, I've been dying. He's been making so many faces.
You know what, guys? I quit.
Just keep the Christmas tree there when you go.
You can talk to my tree.
Welcome back.
Thanks for dropping that.
Sorry. Oh, we have cats coming.
Jeez. Where's your kitty?
I do not have a dog. It's behind.
Aww. Wasco.
You can see him there.
Look at your
Actually,
Oh, it's getting crazy now.
Yeah, I know the echo is just like freaking out. Sorry, guys. So that just happened. Anyway, so let's see if I can try to say what I was saying again. I'm just gonna like cover Will up at the bottom. We are going to really be buckling down on getting some team members. I can't take any of this seriously now. Dang it. Team members to help us with the show. I'm going to be making a little thingamajigger to help people out that want to do certain things, so it's kind of easy, where I can just give you that little thingamajigger and you can just do the thingamajigger. Because that made sense. And we have some giveaways coming up soon as well, but we are working with NeoCell to get something awesome started for you guys. And we have the sweet hoops, the hoopingLIVE hoops that Bonnie is making, and we're going to figure out some cool combinations that are going. I had a dream she made me a Taylor Swift hoop, and it was like, it kind of looked like mine, but had like red in the inside and said like Taylor Swift, like red 1989, like Speak Now, like all of her albums on it. And I was like, sweet. But it didn't happen. It wasn't real. It was super sad. Get on it, Bonnie. And yeah. So anyway, Jenna, would you like to go ahead and give your info?
Yeah, I would love to. Easiest way to find any of my links to anything is to go to hoopinglive.com, and over in like the left-hand side, it'll say like our team or something along those lines, and you'll see my name, which is Jenna. If you didn't catch on, click that, and it'll take you to another page that has my YouTube and a link to my favorites page, which has every social media link that I'm on currently. I think my performance page is on there as well, and if it's not, yeah, I'll put it on there. But it should be on there. I'm not for sure. But thanks for watching the show tonight, guys.
Yay! Thank you, Jenna. And Will, would you like to do your thing?
oh yeah. I am not on the hoopingLIVE website. I, however, am on Facebook. You can certainly add me on Facebook. Will Weimer. My performance profile is Will Spinovi Weimer. Or I will be answering questions on video, so you can certainly find my YouTube from there, which is also Will Weimer. They are all spelled W-I-M-E-R, and that is about that.
All right. And Bonnie, would you like to go ahead and say your goodbyes?
Okay, so Bonnie Brown, and my website is outwardspiral.net. Also, just wanted to update for the Brecken stuff, the Brecken workshop. It is breckenhoops.bigcartel.com. So that's BRECKENHOOPS, and then Big Cartel, BIGCARTEL.com. So breckenhoops.bigcartel.com. So you can check out her stuff and links to her tour there. And yeah, and if you have questions about hoops from Hooping Live, then you can contact me at hoop@hoopinglive.com, or you can get me directly at Outward Spiral too. It's outwardspiral.net, OUTWARDSPIRAL.net.
Sweet! Thank you so much, Bonnie, and thank you guys so much for watching tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed the show and learned a lot about hooping, hoops, and cats, because there were a lot of all of those things. Again, my name is Audrey, also known as Audrey, here in the hooping community. We have a lot of awesome stuff coming up in the next couple months, so be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter to get all of those updates. You can also, like I said, email us at info@hoopinglive.com if you have any questions, comments, concerns, ideas, requests, all that good stuff. Next week after the show, we will be having an after party, and you can come in and hang out with us and learn about becoming a part of the team. I don't know why I said that so weird. And yeah, so until then, check out hoopinglive.com to learn about all of the members of the panel, learn more about Bonnie, and get some of her awesome hoops. We will be adding Will to the website. I did not realize that he was still going through an initiation or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, guys, until next week, thank you so much for watching, and you have a great night, day, whatever time it is. Okay, bye.